KDB. That beat is fire. KDB. That beat is fire. KDB. That beat is fire.
Beats Planet.
And we back. What's good? What's good? What's good? We are here with another episode of Voch Lombardi Live. We was gonna talk about some film today, but I guess we just I guess. So we gonna give y'all the works, man. We gonna give you the good stuff. We'll get there. We'll cross that road. Y'all relax, man. We here for an hour. We got content to kill. We will have phones today. There's your number there. We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear reactions. If you didn't call in yesterday and give us your vibes from last week's game versus the Lions, you can feel free to do so. Tap on in. The Chicago Bears played last night. Interesting, because the Cowboys play the Bears next week. If y'all have a little thought on that, please tap in. Something that's I ain't saying annoying, because I love my people, man. Shouts out to y'all that y'all think highly of me. But every time Colin Cowherd say something weird, they tag me and you be like, hey man, get your boy. Voch, Will, get your mans right here. And Colin is under the assumption that just because Justin Fields had a good game at the Bears offense is just this Bears offense is what Colin Cowherd said. So, all right, if y'all want to call in and tap in about the Chicago team, you can feel free to do so. Today, me and Will still have some notes about the actual film, the actual Cowboys-Lions film. We dug into that. We deep dive into it. I got my O-line rankings that I didn't write down off the top of my head. I can kind of just go through them. Will, still, did you watch the O-line closely, or you just gave up on us again? I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Don't worry about it. Hey, yo, but chat, there was this one part in the film session where Jason Peters was lined up at tight end, and I thought he was at left tackle. And not only was he at tight end, but he beat the shit out the dude in front of him, and I screamed real loud, but I was like, oh, he just said tight end. But whew, and I just wanted to talk to somebody about it, but Will still don't care about offensive line. So it's cool. I want to ask him about it. I won't ask Will Steele about it. It's okay. I'm not gonna say that to you. And then what else we got for y'all today? Yes, the Cowboys have a trade. Yes, we're in the news right this second. It is fresh off the presses, and it's interesting. Will, we picked this time slot. I had my own reservations about going live at 3 p.m. Central, but it hadn't proven us wrong. Every time something happens in Cowboy Nation, it go live right around this time we tap in. So Johnathan Hankins, he has been traded to the Cowboys from the LA Raiders. It's funny that we sent a 6th and they sent us him and a 7th back. So me and Will still are going to break down that compensation. We're going to break down Johnathan Hankins. And look, when I say break down, the goddamn news came out an hour ago. You know what I mean? And it ain't really a whole bunch that we can tell you about the player, because he's not a very nuanced player. He's a very cut and dry, straight up and down player. So we'll give you our thoughts on the player. But I think the more conversation that we can get from it is what it means for this roster, and what it means, like the pieces surrounding it. So we can definitely get into that. Let's just give us a little bit of an intro right here. You can go ahead and lead it up there, Will. Still, we ain't doing nothing else. I'm your host, Voch Lombardi.
Yo, Skywalker.
Y'all be sure to like the video, VOCHLOMBARDI on all social media platforms. And if y'all want to see the longer extended film sessions, tap into patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. We're being point guarded by the homie.
Yeah, I got urgent messages for Mr. Willie Jump.
Point guarded.
Everybody gonna die.
You know what, Will? I ain't gonna lie to you as I cut my music on. There's often days where I just wake up sad because one day the industry is going to realize how great you are, and that somebody's going to, you know what I'm saying, like take you away from it. And that makes me sad almost, right? But then I was watching Monday Night Football and I was like, man, Troy ain't left Joe Buck yet, dog. They ain't broke up yet. So for anybody watching, just in case anybody watching, you going to pay me, you going to have to pay Will still too, dog. That's the rules. Go ahead, bro. Yeah. Two bag boys. Can't just drop one bag. Got to drop two on us. Appreciate you. All right, let's get going. Everybody say they can't hear you, Will. Still, I can hear you.
Yeah, I've had myself muted. We do it though. We good now though.
It's all good. Let's get into this trade talk, man. Because I don't think we're gonna be here very long.
All right,
but we can be. I don't know. It depends. Johnathan Hankins, right? We've been looking at him for a long time. The Cowboys have been trying to improve run defense for years, and Johnathan Hankins was a name when he was a Giant. Johnathan Hankins was a name that Cowboy fans like, oh shit, let's add him. This was definitely around the time where Earl Thomas was a name and Jonathan Taylor was a name, you know what I mean? And all them names just kind of went away slowly but surely. But Johnathan Hankins is still a name that reigns true with us. Here we go. Michael Gelkin. Cowboys added run stopping interior, added run stopper to interior, acquiring defensive tackle Johnathan Hankins and a 2024 7th round pick. I wonder how much money he made because I want to know why the hell they got to send us a 7.
Nothing. It's like $1 million or something.
You mean to tell me Johnathan Hankins cost $38 and a slice of pizza and they still sent us a 7? That's a cool little deal. That's a cool
They
little
got
deal,
some
man.
young guys over there. They probably just like, all right, man, let's just go ahead and get them going.
Well, but I looked that up too, though, Will Steele. And if you watch the film, and we'll pull a couple of plays. if you watch the film, Johnathan Hankins does not start, and it made me look that up. I was like, who is 97? It's Andrew Billings. If anybody is they've been with me during draft season, Andrew Billings, the former Baylor nose guard or whatever, right? And it's interesting because if I think of Andrew Billings too, also both those guys, right? If I think about a scheme that'll be good for them, it'll be them lined up at a nose and two gapping, right? But if you look at what the Raiders do up there in Vegas, they do even fronts. So they got guys at 1 tech. They sometimes have those guys at 3 tech. So I'm not up here losing my mind over Johnathan Hankins, but I do feel like Dan Quinn, because this is what Dan Quinn does in general. Dan Quinn can at least put guys in a position that favors their skill set.
Right.
Now, Johnathan Hankins isn't a guy that I'm losing my mind over because I don't think that he does. Like if this was like Quentin Williams, I'll be in jail. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? If this was Derrick Brown, like it wouldn't even be no show today. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be no movie, Will Steele, but it's not that. He is a very, very particular type of set. He will do a very, very particular job. He will eat up blocks. Now, I was just kind of on the Twitter machine. It's two things I like to do when players get moved, right? I like to go to forums and I like to just type the name in and go to Twitter and just see what the fan base is saying about him. Because typically the fan base will tell you what the hell you need to know about the player. I think for the most part, fans are goofy, right? But you will get the overwhelming majority correct, right? Raiders fans look a little upset that Hankins was given away. And then given away, and they had to give up a 7th to give him away, which is hysterical. I think that's the biggest takeaway, the biggest funniest part for me, and the biggest thing that the Raiders fans are mad at. They're like, maybe we're trying to make room for Deron Payne. Maybe we trying to. So why the fuck we gave up a 7? Like that seemed to be the conversation here. Like sometimes you get picks back because you're giving away a player that's terrible. You know what I mean? Like if we got to give you a pick to take this player, that'll make sense. But Hankins is a player that's useful, and you take a pick back from them. So Raiders fans seem to be pretty upset about that. But the big thing about this whole thing for me, like the main job I can see for Johnathan Hankins, I don't think he's going to be starting. That's just in my mind. I don't think he's going to be starting. I think he's only going to be doing run defendy things. But Voch, what if he's out there on a passing down? Then he'll push the pocket and get blocked. But end game is where your pass rush comes from, right? So cool. I don't think he's going to be starting. I think he played too many snaps in Vegas, because as I was just watching while I was eating my salad that wifey put together for me, and I was just minding my business, he was huffing and puffing a bunch out there. You know what I mean? This ain't like in Dallas where, you may see 7 defensive tackles in Dallas, right? Raiders only really got 3 or 4 dudes that they were rotating. I just pulled it up. They have, Bilal Nichols, Andrew Billings, Neil Farrell. I ain't even know who Neil Farrell was. And then they had Johnathan Hankins and some dude named Kendall Vickers that I'm not too familiar with. So they ain't got a whole bunch of stars over there. So Johnathan Hankins played a good bit for them. Will Steele, would you say that in Dallas, Johnathan Hankins may not get no more than 13 snaps, possibly?
Depends on the team. Like this week, maybe he would get more. But they did bring his snap count down over the last few weeks, and interesting enough, that was some of his better games. When I say last few weeks, I mean his last 2 games. His snap count went from 16 and 12. Other than that, yeah, he was getting 30, 32, and 27. So that makes sense why he was probably huffing and puffing for a 340-pound dude.
That is fantastic analysis. Will Steele watched the last 2 games. I watched the first 2. Boy, let me tell you something. We meet halfway.
There you go.
I think Johnathan Hankins is going to come off the bench here, and this is where I'm gonna give one more positive, and then we're gonna talk about where it starts to get weird a little bit. I don't think we have a big run defense problem in our middle in particular. I think this is a very football particular thing. I had to think about this, right? We are worried about middle too, but like outside game, right? Like when they start to get the ball to the outside, and we're worried about our linebackers getting blocked. Well, if you got dudes that are taking up double teams on the inside, then maybe that will allow, I don't even want to say Barn Vander, let's say Parsons and Cox and Clark to possibly run free, and Vander Esch too. Vander Esch ain't doing bad, but that will
he plays better when he runs free.
Vander Esch is a gangster when he's running free. Like Vander Esch taking on blocks, ridiculous. I saw somebody, it was on this on the D-Law play, right? D-Law was whooping the 5 blocks on the goal line. Somebody was like, damn, how come Vander Esch don't be shedding blocks like that? That ain't what he do. But when he run free, Vander Esch is that dude, man. So if anything, what I consider this is to be like a double run sure up thing, right? When Bohanna comes off the field.
Here you go.
Now what? What do we do when Bohanna comes off the field? Normally that's Neville Gallimore. Last week it wasn't Neville Gallimore, but normally it's Neville Gallimore. Last week it was Carlos Watkins. And if we can tie this in with my nuanced film watching with it's Tuesday, this is what we do. On Tuesdays, we just watch film a little closer and talk about it. Carlos Watkins is a better run defender than Neville Gallimore, Will Steele. Now, Neville Gallimore may be the more talented guy, I would say. Neville Gallimore got the draft position, Neville Gallimore got the name in the building. Carlos played a little better than him these last 2 weeks, opposed to the couple of weeks that Neville Gallimore played. So in my mind, Gallimore got his job took twice. You know what I mean? He got his job took by Bo. And as of now, what it looks like if we're trying to sure things up in the middle, I don't think we're going for the pass rushing defensive tackle route, Will Steele. You know what I mean? Like maybe if it's a game and we need more pass rush from our interior guys, possibly that's a game where you call up from Neville and you leave Hankins behind or something like that. But if we're only trying to talk about run defense, and as I pull up my phone and look at the schedule, Bears gonna run. Dalvin Cook come on the 24th. Giants gonna run. Jonathan Taylor gonna be here on the 4th. Gonna beat the shit out of the Texans. Travis Etienne will be here on the 18th. We play the Eagles again. Derrick Henry after that. You know what I mean? So I don't think we're in this place where we want pass rushing defensive tackles. I think when Bohanna comes off the field, I don't think we want to be weak on the interior in terms of run defense. So I think that's where Johnathan Hankins and Carlos Watkins will live. I think that's where they'll be doing that thing. Note, I ain't say shit about Tristan. He'll lose his job. Tristan's fine. I don't think Tristan's going nowhere. I think Tristan's good. Will, what do you have to say about what I just said? And what do you think is going on with Neville Gallimore? And what's the future for him?
Yeah, I think they made this because they don't have a guy outside of Bohanna. That's a run guy. They don't even believe in Tristan Hill being that guy because they said it was a toss up. It was like, we don't know who we want to sit down, Tristan Hill or Neville Gallimore. If you don't know which one you want to sit down, that means none of them are the answer. Opposite of your other guy, which is Bohanna. Bohanna is that one tech, right? He's that one tech run stopper, take up the double teams. But remember last year, Dallas had like 3 of them dudes. They had Bohanna, they had Brent Urban, they had that's not Watson, but Watkins. Even though Watkins played the one tech, but what's the Antoine something or the other?
Woods, Antoine Woods.
No, not Woods. Maybe it wasn't Antoine. Man, y'all know who I'm talking about. He got picked up by the Denver Broncos, but they had a number of dudes. Yeah, it's slipping my mind. Somebody in the chat will drop the name. Yeah, but anyway, they had
no. Hamilton, Justin Hamilton.
Justin Hamilton. I'm sorry, Justin Hamilton. So they had a number of guys to do that. Now, was those guys any difference makers? No. Was any of those guys as good as Hankins has been in the run in his career? No. And it's so crazy that you say Carlos Watkins has been better than Neville against the run. Hankins has been better than all of them.
Yeah,
against the run. right? So you get 350 pounds of Bohanna, 340 pounds of Hankins, and you hope those two guys can settle it. But I'm with you. I don't think that it's just the interior, but the problem is you don't have enough of those bodies when Bohanna goes out. Now you get super light with Tristan Hill, Osa, and Los, and even Neville putting on the peanut butter. All these dudes putting on the off-season peanut butter. Hank, defensive tackles to do that. They're more so stunt guys, cram guys, loop around, and I guess if it's just an obvious passing down long, just go get them types. But they're not asked to be Grady Jarrett and Aaron Donald.
No. They're mostly, and we started to think about this, Will said, because we walked into the season, man, how many sacks Osa gonna get, But they ain't asked them to do that, because on pass rush down, most teams will keep some of their tackles in there. We don't keep many tackles in our pass rush downs. We go in game. You know what I mean? We go in game. So that's to be fair. Let me ask you this question, Will, still. Because we haven't seen it as much this year than it was last year. What if we're going to use Hankins as a way to get the odd fronts back out there, or just to use the odd fronts more, to where, mostly Bohanna would be playing some one tech, but we wouldn't use Bohanna as zero necessarily. You know what I mean? What if we go into some of these sets where Hankins gets to be like the true nose, true zero, head up on the center guy,
like Bo?
Sure. It's just I think Bo's athleticism lends him to do some one tech stuff, some A gap stuff. I don't think we're going to use Hankins as an A gap guy very much. I think if anything, Hankins is going to be possibly a head up center guy, like a very much 0-2 gap guy. We don't know for sure. We don't know nothing. This shit just happened an hour ago. We just speculating. It's 3:30 and we got to kill content. But do you think that that's something that we'll see more of, like some of these odd fronts where Hankins is probably playing some zero?
No, I don't think they're going to switch up what they do.
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing now, they'll continue to do it. Hankins is just depth. If now you talking about, say you got a Vita Vea, yeah, I'm switching everything up that I do up front. That's a different story. He a guy you switch up for. But a guy that's going to give you 10 to 15 snaps per game, nah, you just continue to do what you do. But at least when Bo goes out, you can still do it, right? You can still make guys have to double you, as opposed to, Bohanna's out, so I got, Tristan Hill or somebody in here who I can move a little bit if I need to. No, there'd be a different story with Johnathan Hankins in there.
We got 900 people watching live on a Tuesday. Y'all want to tap into the show, man. Number right there, man. Number right there. We would love to hear from you. But yeah, that's all I got, Will, still. Johnathan Hankins, you know what I mean? I think we got a lot of run teams coming up. Plus, too, man, we keep talking about it, bro. If any team we're gonna see in the playoffs, it's gonna be like Eagles, like 49ers. It's gonna be like some run teams, man. So if you're gonna do let's.
Hey, bro,
I just said this yesterday. We want to add strength to the strength to make this shit overkill. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You just said this yesterday.
6th round pick to help a position or help a unit or part of your defense that is considered your Achilles heel. Yeah, you take it. I mean, this is a win-win. If it doesn't work out, it's a 6th round pick, and you got a 7th the following year. Who cares? If it does work out, you got a veteran that can hopefully, help in the run department. But I don't think it's anything that's going to put you over the top, but it's a quality move in my opinion.
So let's start with this, Wiz. Well, let's end with this. The whole roster gymnastics, right? Do we have to cut somebody to have him here? Like, does somebody have to get cut to have him?
Well, we was talking about, putting on a conspiracy hat. Where my button at? It's so funny because that has nothing to do with conspiracy, but I love to think that does.
You had to hit the button. You had to hit the button.
I gotta get the real conspiracy button. But we was like, hey, is Neville on the block?
Trade.
Right? And we was like, well, why trade him? You ain't gonna get nothing back. Different story now, because now you got a defensive tackle on the team now. So now you like, if I'm not going to play Neville and I'm at a surplus, like really a surplus now. I was at a good amount of tackles or defensive linemen. Now I'm about to be at a surplus. Terrell Basham's coming back. Do I bust that move and get some compensation for him and say we're going to rock out with the new guy and out with the old? So maybe Neville's a move.
let me tell you what. I would trade Basham before I trade Neville, because Billy D is emerging. You know what I mean? Billy D is emerging. I would just hold on to him. Plus, we got a lot of ends, and we only need like 2 of them at a time, unless we're going end game, and that's just murderous. I still feel like when you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you just need as many dudes as you can, man. I just want to hold on to him, man. I want to hold on to him. So like if I had to cut somebody, like I'm looking at like Nashawn Wright or something. You know what I mean? Like we ain't using him at all. And if we just got to keep D tackles inactive and just mix and match them per the matchup, I would do that as opposed to just cutting one of the dudes or just moving on from Neville Gallimore. Because you were Tristan Hill injury away from mixing up and playing dominoes. And then if something happened to both neck, now we're in a whole nother thing, right? I just want to get as many tackles as I can. And if I had to move on from somebody, I know we just lost Jordan Lewis, and corner's a little different. But I'll move on from Nashawn. I wouldn't touch none of my D tackles. I want to keep as many of them dudes as I possibly can. Well, that's just my own personal.
They did just sign Kendall Sheffield, a cornerback that Dan Quinn drafted in Atlanta. So Nashawn might be, hey, because think about this for a second. If they felt confident in Nashawn Wright, not saying that you don't go sign nobody anyway because you lost Jordan Lewis because you need to fill that spot. But when you say, all right, Nashawn, you up next. I know Deron Bland is up next technically, but Nashawn then would take Deron Bland's spot. Maybe he does, but they went out and got a guy that Dan Quinn drafted. If I'm Nashawn Wright, I'm looking over my shoulder.
Sure. Interesting convo. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else I want to say before we move on. Because once we leave, I ain't coming back to Johnathan Hankins. Unless somebody call and they got something to say about Johnathan Hankins. I think that's all we got, man. Let's take 2 calls before we get into what we saw in the film. And I'll be writing down my O-line rankings as I get to them. Terrence Steele wasn't as bad as I thought, but just whoever lined up against Aiden Hutchinson that game, it was just bad for them. Let's go set it off, Chris. We're going to start with you, sir. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Sorry about Sunday, man. Wanted to get a little drink in with you, man, but man, the hustle is real.
Chris, you
the
good,
hustle is
man.
always real.
Chris, you good,
hey, man, but I was
money.
thinking about I'll be quiet here.
You let me talk? I'll let you talk. Shots out to set it on Chris.
He know.
Yeah, that's content right there.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. My bad, dog. It's on you. This is your show. I'll let you talk. Go ahead, Chris.
No. I mean, because you came in shows, man. So you catch all these different things. If you do your after party study of it. You came in shows, so you don't want to get caught out there.
100%.
But right. But my question is, you were going back to Endgame, and I was thinking about this earlier today. Endgame kind of changes, but I also think what you said when Hankins makes sense about who may go. I think Neville is playing out of position. I don't think Neville has ever been a 1. He's been like he's a 3. Sure. So if you get the transition of 3s with Neville, Osa, and Tristan, then you can keep those 3 going back to back to back. Am I missing something there or no?
No, you ain't lying. Like if there's anybody on this team that are 3 takes, or at least that we thought was 3 takes, we thought Neville and Tristan was 3 takes, and they somehow turned into run game big dudes. So yep, that's fair.
Right. So if you do that, then you keep people fighting for shirts. And I know you're going to get to a little bit later. I was just posed, and I think also that helps with keeping the one guy Reek one off this fucking team. Excuse me, clean show. Off this freaking team, is that if you keep Leighton Vander Esch clean, that is his forte. From the time you scouted him, that's all he is. If he's clean and he can run free, you can keep him there, but you can also move Micah back into the middle and get Billy D on the field. I think that helps his team as well. And I'm gonna get out the way, man. I'm gonna continue to listen. I know you're gonna break this down even further so that we, have clarity, man. But I appreciate it, man. And hey, man, let's just keep telling in the box, baby. And I'm out of here.
Keep.
This morning was wild, bro.
That can mean a lot of things. Hey,
let me tell you what it means.
What it mean?
So my man, Coach Marv, called in for a while. This was pre Kellen Moore madness, right? We was like, man, we need to put Kellen Moore in the booth, put him in the box, let him see. And Coach Marv called in this morning, was like, yeah, man, and one more thing before I leave, we need to put Kellen Moore back in the box. And the chat lit up. L said, well, he don't like the box. Well, at least not that box anyway. Maybe it's a different type of box. Like, they was just going in, bro. I said, damn it, I can't have a conversation about Kellen no more.
No, because it's gonna go right back to the nonsense, man. Right back to the nonsense. But hey, look, we love this community, man. We love the people that tune in our shows, man. That'll go and watch Will's show in the morning. That'll watch Law Nation show at 1. That'll come over here at 3 o'clock. I mean, we got 1,000 people watching. I mean, I'm just got 1,000 people watching. Just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What you got to say about that though, Will Steele? That's another interesting point. Is this like a move to get Neville Gallimore back at 3? I don't think so. But like, do you think this is possibly just a no?
I really wish I had a pass. I would ask questions. How you guys feeling about Neville? Not that they tell us the truth, but you try to read between the lines.
They'll never tell us nothing, man. They'll never let us ask real questions.
It's the walk-offs where you got to get them. Yeah.
Walk-offs, yeah, you got to get them off record. Yep. My offensive line rankings for the week, Will Steele. I went and watched the film. I watched the O-line film.
Did you tweet him?
I watched the D-line. I didn't tweet him. My bad.
Damn you.
I didn't tweet him. I mean, because Johnathan Hankins shit happened, man. You know, and you know we've been. It's just been a busy morning, Will Steele. My bad. O-line rankings for week 7. That's the Lions, y'all. You called it, Will Steele. Zach Martin just erased everybody in front of him, man. Everybody in front of Zach Martin was just erased. Tyler Biadasz was second. And of course, my offensive line rankings are always going to depend on who ran into the stud. Who run into the stud, who run into the scrub. That's always how we're going to be defining this. You know what I'm saying? And Tyler Biadasz did well on the inside. Connor McGovern did well on the inside. He ain't 3 though. Terrence Steele gave up a sack. It was a nasty one too. That spin move on the inside on 8, nasty.
Yeah.
But besides that though, Terrence ain't give up too much.
Who's your 4 or 5?
Like my 4 and 5 is McGovern and Tyler Smith.
We called yesterday. Remember, we was like, I got a feeling Zach be 1, Biadasz 2,
yeah.
And then your still obviously 3, and then your bottom 2 would be McGovern and Tyler. Maybe flip, but I think Tyler last. And that was with me kind of just barely watching. So, see, man, I got you, bro. I got you.
You did well, but you need to watch closely next time so you can see Jason Peters get that pancake and tight end. So next time,
I was so mad I didn't bring up Jason Peters for you because I was like, man, when he was in there, I thought he did well, but I didn't really look enough to remember. So yeah, I'm mad I didn't bring that up for you.
Will Steele, me and my Patreon people, and shouts out to my Patreon people, man. Patreon.com/Voch Lombardi, bro. Me and my Patreon people just watching together as a family, just as a class, bro. And we saw Jason Peters just take some child and dig him in the grass. We was like, that's what happens when he's on this side of Tyler, not that side. I mean, we were just so excited, bro. I'm gonna see if I can find him. I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna let this film run in the background, and if I find it, I'll either give you a timestamp or I'll just screen share it or something like that. And we'll go from there. So, from the film, Will Steele, I watched the film a little closer, got a chance to take a look at my Cowboys offense. I'm so ready for Dak Prescott to get in his groove, dog. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we properly knocked the rust off. And look, the one take that I came away with today that I didn't fully say yesterday that I should have thought, and I ain't gonna say nothing bad about nobody else quarterback, right? But last couple of weeks, we wouldn't always take advantage of turnovers. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get a turnover. It would be a punt block or something like that. Damn, Maher had to go get some points. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when the defense gave us turnovers, for the most part, we gave them goal, Will Steele. We gave them goal. We at least cashed in on it at some point. And that could be via run game, but that could also just be, Dak keeping this thing on the rails a little more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? We did a lot more things with hard counts. We did a lot more things with reads downfield. A couple of people wanted me to be like they wanted me to check in on those plays that looked like it was triple coverage. And they wanted my opinions on, Voch, why is Dak throwing the ball in triple coverage? Every play that you thought was triple coverage, because that's just broadcast view. That's just what happens with broadcast view. Every play that you thought was triple coverage, it wasn't triple coverage. And you can really get away by just asking yourself, like, man, who really trying to triple cover Noah Brown? You know what I mean? Ain't nobody trying to triple cover Noah Brown. You know?
Damn, that's a fantastic point.
Who the fuck trying to triple cover Noah Brown. You know what I mean? So nah, Dak wasn't throwing in triple coverage necessarily. Found it. Let me pull this up. Nobody was throwing in triple coverage, bro. It was just dudes caught up. Like dudes got to the coverage expeditiously. Let's see. Well, still, can you see my screen here?
Let me see if it gets choppy, because last time we tried it got choppy with that eagle caller or whatever. But go ahead.
Let's just run and see how that look.
Oh, look good. A tiny bit choppy, but we for the most part it's fine. What we trying to look at here?
Well, you can't miss Jason Peters at the damn left tight end here. Now look, when I saw this, I was like, oh shit, I need to call somebody. Jason Peters is at left tackle with Tyler Smith at left guard. I'm going to jail. I'm somebody about to get pregnant, but that wasn't the case. It was just Jason Peters was at tight end. He had to prove eligible or whatever. He was just an extra blocker in there. But Will Steele, Jason Peters just looks so in place right here doing this. Will Steele, this what I saw. I'm like, who child is that Jason Peters just dogging like this? And then you just let Tyler Smith get upfield and block the linebacker.
His best game.
Is his best game? Who? Tyler
Peters.
Who? Jason Peters' best game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%, because normally Jason Peters looking sluggish and out of place and clumsy. But Will, let me ask you a question. As you was watching the film on the Cowboys offense, and this dude just kept making tackles, how pissed off did you get at this dude, Jeff Okudah, constantly making tackles?
I had to tweet about it. I had to tweet through it. And I quote my damn self, Jeff Okudah was an annoyance in that game. And I mean that seriously, because it wasn't like he was head up just taking dudes down. He was doing that. He had 15 tackles and probably 9 of them was like that. Just getting in there and tripping you up or what have you. And man, I was so annoyed. That was the word that I used.
I was trying to figure out one. I was like, man, I wish my fucking corners tackle like that. Boy, if we can get some tenacious shit like this from the cornerback position, oh, you shitting me. But I was trying to figure out, man, I was like, why the hell Jeff Okudah keep running free up in here? I think it got something to do with when he's at corner and he's in the box. They're not accounting for him because he's a corner.
I figured
something
it out.
Like that. What's that? Go ahead.
I picked up the tendency. When the Cowboys did not, and they do this often now, they do like a double on one side or they'll line up trips on another side. If it wasn't on Okudah's side, they just said, all right, you're a safety now. Like, we're not going to put you back. We're putting you in the box at the line of scrimmage, and you're playing as a safety. And his mentality completely switched as a safety to a safety, right? Or a linebacker. Really, that's kind of how he was playing it. And he did a fantastic job. First of all, salute to him, because he did a great job, with his leverage, his angles, and then finishing the tackles. But once they said, oh, no wide receiver responsibility, I'm just literally going to be that 8th man or 7th man in the box. That's what they were doing. Now, once you put a guy out there, you took him out. And if you notice, you had a lot of success.
Yeah. And hey, man, shouts out to Jeff Okudah, because he's been fighting the bus label for years. He been fighting that label for a good little while, man. But he shows some top tier traits, man. He shows some good coverage ability, but him in the run game, bro, it was annoying. Also, too, there was this play, and I broke it down on my film session. Y'all can go check that out. Yesterday's show, people were kind of asking me and Will Steele what was our thoughts on it. We ain't got to show the play, Will Steele. People know what we're talking about. And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, go watch the film session. But they was all like, it was the CeeDee Lamb up the seam. It was another one of those wise Dak throwing in the triple coverage plays or whatever. And Will Steele, the bottom safety, that was the strong, I guess, in that situation. But the bottom safety, if the bottom safety was just a little less aware, Will Steele, Dak Prescott would have made an amazing big boy throw. Amazing big boy throw. He was throwing the seam down the middle of cover 2. And all he had, it was cover 2, but the linebacker was in zone with CD. So it was real like Tampa 2. It was Tampa 2, right? Because he was just running with CD or whatever. And man, Dak threw the ball directly over the linebacker. right in between both safeties where it was supposed to be. But the safety on the outside just made a perfect play. And there was some people in the chat. They said, "Voch, we saw from another YouTuber." And I don't really watch other people's film session, whatever, because when I watch too much film, I'm sick of looking at it. But they was all like, "Could Gallup had run his route deeper to take away the safety attention?" And the answer is no, because if you're running, deep halves, you can't. First of all, no receiver runs a 25-yard dig route.
Right.
You know what I mean? It may be 10, it may be 15, but ain't nobody running no day. How long your offensive line got to block to run a 25-yard dig route? You see what I'm saying? That's not going to be a thing. If anything, you wanted Gallup to run something more to the outside. You wanted him to run a 9 route. You wanted them to run a smash concept the way he would run a corner. And that would take the safety attention and keep him, and keep him away from the middle of the field. But just in terms of Dak seeing the safety turn to the sideline and seeing CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb hadn't even passed the linebacker yet. He was about to. He just knew that that the throw was there. And people always say, man, well, Dak don't throw guys open. Dak don't throw with anticipation. Shit. This safety was a second away from Dak being a superstar type of throw like that. And that's the kind of throws that you get with quarterback one, man. I ain't disrespecting nobody else quarterback. That's just the kind of throws that you get with quarterback one. I think the further we go, the more throws that we'll get with that, We saw him take advantage of snap counts. We saw him take advantage of hard counts, I meant to say, and just general reads. And besides that, he hand the ball off, cuz. Hand the ball off, cuz. Play action turned into a thing where we'll fake the Zeke and, get the ball deep to CeeDee Lamb. Bro, this offense it ain't going to be what it was last year with Coop and them. God, I miss Coop and them. But I think this offense will be fine. I think it'll develop into something that can be complimentary of this defense. Well, Steele, did you see anything in particular on film? Just a broad answer, because it's 350. Just a broad answer. Anything on film that we haven't seen that you want to talk about?
I'll go back to that play you were talking about, because I don't want to underestimate the how that safety played that so well. I mean, that was fantastic safety play in general, man. He sees that Michael Gallup is running this dig. He opens his hip, and this is what Voch is talking about. When he opens his hips like this, you can't see my mouse, but look at the safety. When he opens his hips like this, Dak is reading that safety. And I wish you could see my cursor. And let's just pretend you can see it. The safety's out the picture in Dak's mind, because this CeeDee Lamb's going to run right past this Tampa 2. And I wish this kind of took this safety away too. So when people say 3 guys were in the area, they were only in the area by the time the ball arrived at the place. And once this safety sees that Michael Gallup is about to run this dig, well, my responsibility changes. Now I don't got to worry about anything outside those numbers or deep. So I flip my hips, I make the play, and break on the ball. That's great safety play. But when you look at the other angle, this is 6. If we get a better concept, look, this is 6, ladies and gentlemen. I thought this safety to the left on screen was closer, but from this end zone angle, you can see he really is nowhere close enough. This is on a rope. This is on a rope, and this is going to the crib. If we just sold it a little bit better, in my opinion, right here, if this concept is a little bit better, you got Gallup on the seam, or you got Noah Brown running the 7 route, this safety has to stay occupied, and you're talking about, a 90-yard touchdown reception. So he got greedy. He said he got greedy. More so mental rust to me than it is bad throw. That was a beautiful throw.
Yeah. I don't even want to call it greedy, because if the safety was just 1 Madden rating less, you know what I mean, then we'd have got there, man. And honestly, if I'm the quarterback and I'm reading DBs and the DB's hold, like he's facing the sideline, you don't think that DB can turn around quickly and get to the landmark before the ball can. The fucking safety just happened to do it. So it is what it is. Fantastic play by the safety. Would have been a better play by Dak. I think Dak did some great things, man. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait to see next game. Let's get into the phone.
The conference has been locked.
See what y'all talking about. Then we'll wrap up the show, and we'll tell we'll get our guy Paul to highlight the Hankins segment and put that out and get more views from that. Appreciate y'all. Let's get Los on the phone. Kick it off with him. What up, Los?
Good afternoon, Voch. Good afternoon, Sky. I hope y'all having a blessed day like always, man.
Always, my guy.
What's up with y'all?
Always.
But hey, my quick point, and then I'm out. Dallas Cowboys, I didn't expect this move at all. I'm 95%, in my opinion, Dan Quinn to call Will McClay and say, hey, I need a big body that can help on the run and that's on the Jones cheap pocket. Will McClay just said, I got you, fam. And I think that Will McClay chemistry or friendship, whatever you want to call it, with McCarthy and Quinn has been a huge part of the reason why the opportunity, we have a reason to compete. And we know that Will McClay, what he did with the Garrett era, right?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing what he's doing now with this era with McCarthy and Dan Quinn, whether draft or in season, to make these moves and the sense of urgency of adding talent into your strengths you have. Just give me your conspiracy theory you have there and how huge that has been. And I'll leave it at that. Watching Sky. Peace.
Appreciate you, Los. Will, how much do you, and that's a solid question also, like who do you think made the call here? Was this just a general, we're Will McClay and my department feels like we need to be better at this, or the coaching staff made the call and Dan Quinn said, hey, go get me this guy in particular?
Well, Dan Quinn probably, all of them. Let me just make that clear, because the way that the chain of the hierarchy is in Dallas is there's no one general manager that signs the checks and gets the players on the team. It's, hey, coach, we're looking to make a move, or what move do you think, where we need to improve? DQ says, I might be looking to get another big guy. Bohannon's the only big guy I got. And then Will McClay or Steven says, hey, Will, this is what I'm looking for. A big guy for $38. All right, cool. I got you, Steven. Let me go take a look at my personnel, people, contacts, look around. Found a big guy for you for $38 that fits what we want. And then we'll go to Steven. Hey, Steven, does this work? Yep, works for me monetarily. Hey, DQ, is this guy good? Yep, that works for me. And it's all one thing as opposed to one person, making all the decisions.
Couldn't have said it better, Will. Steele. Couldn't have said it better. 100%, Mr. Wolf. I keep trying to tell people, man, Jerry don't watch film. Jerry has no clue who these people are. Jerry on some boat signing papers or something, trying to see who gonna do the halftime show. Well, he talking about Rihanna halftime show, dog. Jerry ain't got nothing to do with football
Jerry,
operation.
While Will McClay, Steven, and DQ Will McClay and DQ really were doing football stuff, Jerry was signing the Jonas Brothers for Thanksgiving.
I saw that shit and I'm just like, bro, who is this supposed to be? Who is this for? All right. Let's get King Cowboy on the phone. We'll just go down the list. What's up, King Cowboy?
So, Voch, what's good? Will Steele, what's going on, my guy?
Cool, my guy. We chill.
All right, boom. A couple of my points was already hit on that I've been on hold for a little bit. Let me go back for a second. The Hankins signing, I like it. I mean, it is what it is. I want Cowboys Nation to understand, though, this is not going to be problem solver. Now nobody can run on this. I want everybody to realize he's going to be a rotational player. He's going to be okay. He's here to help, but don't expect it to be a quick fix.
Right.
I haven't watched none of his film recently. I know he used to be a beast, but I just don't want Cowboys Nation to think, everything is fixed. Nah, we still got to shore up some things on that run game, on that run defense.
Mm-hmm.
Question, though, with that, whose snaps is he going to be taking from? I'm curious. Like, who's going to be losing the 10 to 15, as y'all said? Which player is going to be losing those snaps? Another quick point, real quick. Let me get off the phone. DeRon Bland. Everybody, I feel like they're saying, or most people think that he's going to be jumping in for Jordan Lewis. How do you think that he's going to handle that? Is he ready for that? Do we need to make a sign-in? Do we need to go out there and train for a corner, a proven corner? Or we feel good with DeRon Bland? I like him, just not sure him getting 45, 50 snaps a game or whatever it is, if he can hold up. I highlight y'all, love y'all show. I'm going to listen. All right, peace.
Appreciate you, King Cowboy. We'll start with his first question. So we're not going to be we're not going to carry all the tackles on the, on the active roster on game day. So I guess he'll take the snaps of whatever tackle is inactive for that week, which had to cross the road whenever we get there. And I don't know who the inactive tackle is going to be. We'll have to figure that out. But, Will, what you think about a guy like, and, I'm about to say his name because he's considered like an end and a tackle, and we know Basham was working his way back allegedly. What about a guy like Chauncey? Does Chauncey get pushed away? Does he hang around? What are we doing here?
Probably. When we go to obvious running downs or something like that, but I am interested, Voch, to see you know, how he's used. Is he just because he might just be a Bohanna not replacement, but fill-in
Tight. Yeah.
because listen, we need to shore up the run a little bit tighter. There's no doubt about it. Are we the absolute worst? No, we're not even close to that. Okay, but I still am of the belief the issues are not just from a power standpoint in the middle. A lot of what I see is when things go horizontal and it pulls my linebacker one way or it pulls my safety one way. And that's kind of where, to me, and the edges, right, Voch? That's kind of where, to me, the biggest gash has happened to the Cowboys. Not just, hey, we're man on man and running right up at you. It's usually some type of weird motion going on, pre-snap or post-snap action going on. But so I think he's really going to be just a filler for Bo. Maybe Bo doesn't get 25 snaps a game. Maybe that goes down to 18. Maybe that goes down to 15, and you get 10 for Hankins. So those two guys can be fresh, right? Because if they're going to be your run guys, you need them to be fresh.
Yeah. And the biggest way to deal with a bigger and look, man, this dude like 330 or something like that. You know what I mean? Johnathan Hankins,
340 pounds.
340. The best way to deal with a big dude like that in the middle is to run outside. You know what I mean? So he ain't helping your outside run very much. You know, there's even situations like, Voch, he's taking a double team so Van Der Esch can run free to the outside. Well, if I know he ain't gonna catch us to the outside, some teams just let him go or just dedicate one dude to him because you know he's not gonna catch what. Like if Turpin's running a jet sweep or something, he ain't catching Turpin. he ain't catching him. You know what I mean? So that's what was so weird about me. I feel like we have a guy like Hankins. It's the second team where you need one.
There you go.
Then how much is he gonna play? You know what I mean? So I don't see this as just some life-changing move. I just see this as cleaning up small stuff on the defense. You understand? Boy, this is Quentin Williams. We'd be in jail. We'd be in Golden Corral. I mean, we'll be in jail. But I just want to know, okay, so now and I almost tweeted this snarkily. I was like, all right, so now let's go find us a tackling corner, or let's go find a defensive end to not get hooked, or let's find what are we gonna do about the outside run now? That was my big thought about this, but we'll cross that road whenever we get there. We'll see what happens.
He had a Deron Bland question. He wasn't sure if Deron Bland will hold up, but I think he might have forgot. Deron Bland played like 50-something snaps for Jordan Lewis already against the Washington football people and had that pick. Was it the cleanest of games? No, but I think you saw him get comfortable, within the game, and then that pick was an instinctual pick. So I'm excited for Deron Bland, King Cowboy.
Deron Bland he'll be just fine. He's built his trust over the years, over his time being here, and plus I think he's the future. And I think we're just gonna move directly into that right now. So that's where we at. Let's get LA on the phone. What's up, LA?
Boxing and Will Steele, what it do, fellas?
What up, man?
My guy. We just working on a Tuesday.
Amen. And brother, I must say, I really appreciate the work you guys are doing, and all of this talk about QB2 being better than QB1 is absolutely preposterous.
Yeah. Somebody had to do it, brother. Somebody had to fight for us.
Oh, amen. So one of the things I just kind of wanted to give you some bullets on, because I think you can go, like as a former O-lineman, I think you can
he want to give me some bullets. LA want to give me some
just
bullets.
a little bit more with all these little cappers out there.
Right.
In that, we saw what happened to QB2 when the moment got really big.
Mm-hmm.
And people got some film on them, and like folks figured out what to do.
Yeah.
Needless to say, like the bigger point of all of this, when you got a dude like you do in QB1, who's in the weight room, who's first in sprints, who's helping you with the playbook, who knows your fucking name, it's a lot to be said about a guy who knows you and knows what kind of player you are and how you're supposed to impact the game and what that expectation looks like, what that leadership actually looks like from QB1 to QB2, and no disrespect to number 2, but going forward with the rest of the season, with getting the timing right and everything, if Kellen does what he's supposed to do, the type of dude that QB1 has proven to be, all of this talk is so crazy because he's proven everything that everybody keeps saying wrong.
Sure.
You know, so needless to say, if you can keep the dude upright and keep him from having to reshuffle his feet, you know, on third down when we need to actually make a throw and we can get 88 to hold on to the fucking ball, you know, or get some separation, you know, things will look a lot different. But, you know, I'm personally real excited to see him back out there. But, you know, I'm really appreciating the stance that you brothers are being able to take on making sure that Cowboy Nation, you know, stops at Skip Bayless like idiocracy, you know, and just let the dudes play, man. Control the A-gap, run the ball, let the defense continue to do what it's doing. But everybody just relax. We got to play football to win. All of this, you know, all of this media fighting stuff is ridiculous, man. Peace and love, man. Everybody love everybody except for the dudes we playing on Sunday. We need to smack them all up in the A-gap and keep doing what we doing on defense.
Yeah. Appreciate you, LA. Good call, man.
God bless y'all.
Yes, sir. You know, it's funny as he was saying that, Will, Steele, I was you know, I was just checking on the actual film session that's up right now. And, you know, it's still people in the comments of that film session, Will, that believe that the Dak Prescott plays that we're showing them is me pushing a narrative to get people to believe that he's not mediocre or some shit like that. I'm like, man, they zombies, man. They zombies, bro. Can't fix everybody, man. You just gotta let some people roll with their sheeps. You know what I'm saying? Roll with their sheep, brethren. It's all good. We're gonna keep working. Mr. Ryan, how you doing today?
Hey, God bless you in the show, and Will Steele, and everybody in Cowboy Nation. First of all, I want to say I really think that that big guy is going to help stop the run because him and Bohannon will be able to switch on, off and on, and they'll be more fresher. And also, too, you know that Dan Quinn is a mad science, so you know he's going to put him in a position to do the right thing. I really think so, and that's going to help us because we need somebody big in the middle so that way the linebackers can come free and they, you know, keep on smacking quarterbacks in their grill. You know what I mean? And like what the guy was saying earlier, it's true. You know, Dallas Cowboys fans is like, you know, we seem to attack each other. You know what I mean? Come on, people. We're supposed to be a nation. And if you stick together strong, that's the way we survive. But if we attack each other, come on, people. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if, you know, if we sit there and fight, we're not looking good. They laughing at us. Like that stupid Stephen A. Smith, that he be laughing. He's such a hypocrite. Right. But I guess that's the way he makes his money, being a hypocrite. But that's the way it goes. Yeah. But anyway, that's all I got for the show. Like always, God bless you and Steele and both of your family. And y'all keep on the good work.
Appreciate you, Mr. Ryan. That's what I like about Mr. Man. He'll call in. The first thing he says is God bless you and God bless your family. The rest of y'all be like, Voch, I got a question. Answer me. I'm like, hey, man, let's say hey first, man. Say hello first, dog. Relax, man. Show me some love. But I appreciate Mr. Ryan for that, man. I wish we could be one big happy family. I wish Cowboy fans would get along and be on the same page, but it's impossible. Not gonna be able to do it. I think the fan base too big, you know. Mm-hmm. The fan base too big, you know. Like it's bigger than this, right? But let's just say 1 million, right? Just for math. If we say that only 20% of Cowboy fans are idiots, and that's 200,000 Cowboy fans as idiots, bro. You know what I mean? So just imagine the real number, like the real number of people. Like it may be 20 million Cowboy fans. That's 1 million. You know, well,
let's just say 200,000, right? And then 100,000 of them got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then 70,000 of them active. And it's always the loud minority. But
that's what
emphasis on the minority is why I think you're seeing what you see nowadays. But I digress.
Yeah, black people, right.
No,
the minority, huh?
Black QB.
Over like, but yeah, man, I wish we can get along, man. I wish we can be on the same page, bro. But it's just some people get stuck in their ways for whatever reason, and we'll go from there. Let's get Reek on the phone. We'll end the show with him. Whatever, or the calls with him. Whatever, Reek.
What's going on, Voch? What's going on, Sky, man? Hey, man, what's going on, Cowboy Nation? Man, let me tell y'all something, man. What big family do y'all know that get along like that?
What's the question?
What big family? Yeah, I was about to say, what big family y'all know that get along like that and agree on everything? I haven't met one yet.
Okay,
But
yeah.
that's beside the point. But it would be good if we could just have an understanding with each other. I grab you. I get y'all on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it ain't about agreeing.
Yeah, that was
It's a team. It's about getting behind the team.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, man. That was a good signing for us. Good trade. Hopefully, I agree with Sky. It does. He's a good rotational piece when the other big fella has to get off the field and take a breather. I think he's going to be a good complement player to us. We might get his best by him being a good complement player coming off the bench and rotation, But at the same time, we still have to shore up this tackling by these linebackers because just like y'all said, we about to see some running teams, and they're going to be running at us.
Right.
So we gonna need these guys to be tackling like the Van Der Esch's and the Bars. But at the same time, if we have a good, decent tackling young dude on this team and linebacker, why not put him on? Why not put him out there a little bit? Why not see what he can do? Because I think Harper's a really good tackler. You know what I mean? He probably don't know everything that Van Der Esch knows. He can't see everything that Van Der Esch sees at this moment because he's young. But at the same time, what's the best experience is to get out there on the field and see what happens. And I would like to see that. But whether it's Van Der Esch or it's Barr, wherever they decide they want to do that at. But I definitely want to see if these guys are going to be getting ran over and they got to do all this chasing and going and not hitting. I want to see some change because if they figure that they need to change at defensive tackle, why not think that they need to change at middle linebacker?
That's a good point, Reek.
That's basically how I see it.
That's a good point, Reek. Appreciate you. Thanks for the call. Well, that is a good point. If they willing to make a move at D tackle, that means that they relatively willing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like we gonna hold what we got. Now, I do think that it's a fantasy to think that we about to go get DJ Moore and Quentin Williams and all those guys like that. But they at least are willing to make a move if it makes sense. If $38 is involved, like a late day 3 pick is involved, maybe next year's day 3 pick is involved, and it's something that just generally makes sense. Do you foresee anything else happening before the trade deadline, Will?
Well, before you answer that question, read the tea leaves. It was clear that they felt some type of way about defensive tackle when you bench. Let's just be real. You bench Neville Gallimore.
Sure.
Bohanna was never supposed to take Neville's spot. He not only took his spot, his snaps decreased, and then he gets benched. And then you're saying we were waffling between Neville or Tristan. If you read between the lines, that means that we need defensive tackle help, and then went out and looked for it. How often are you seeing Leighton Van Der Esch benched? Anthony Barr benched. These dudes are playing 45, 50 snaps a game. They're not going nowhere. So we as fans want to see some fresher, younger legs in there, some more athleticism. But I keep on going back to it. They trust LVE. They trust Anthony Barr. I don't foresee anything of that significance happening because if they were going to make a linebacker change, it would be within house. Other than that, so we're talking about wide receiver. I think they're going to look at James Washington as that addition. And then what else are we talking here? In linebacker, I think they're going to look at Damone Clark as their guy and not Jabril Cox, if they even use Damone Clark, because like I said, these other two dudes are playing significant snaps.
Good problem to have. Good problem to have. That the improvement that we are improving is our second D-line unit in one particular part of defense. So, hey, that means our defense is looking pretty good. Let's shore up this wide receiver core. Hopefully, shore up this wide receiver core.
If we get a receiver, bro, don't you think it'd be somebody along the lines of like a wide receiver 4, 3 at best? Like we don't see like a game-changing wide receiver, right?
It'll definitely be somebody that's probably a little better than James Washington, but that's it.
Yeah,
probably. What's up, chat?
I would love Brandon Cooks, Michelle C.
Oh, that's but come on, man. Brandon Cooks would actually be perfect because he's not like in the receiver that we got. That there are no redundancies with Brandon. Go ahead, fit like a glove. Chat, for whatever reason y'all couldn't call into the show, now is the time for y'all to tap in. So tap in. What's up? What's up? What's up? What What? We got supers actually. Let me check the volume side. I know we got supers from some. We had 1,100 people watching live images. I appreciate y'all on a Tuesday, by the way. Thank you. Supers from the volume. Let's see. No. So they came from the Vice side. Let's go see. Let's go check the Vice side. Cause I don't want to miss y'all supers. If it's Odell Beckham, we could talk, man. If it's Odell Beckham, bro, we could talk, man. There is no giving up pieces for him. Chris says, Chris214 dropped a deuce in the super chat. He says, does it seem like our offense coordinator is trying to outsmart people too much? Part of his job is outsmarting people, but you gotta, keep it simple at some point. So yeah, he's probably doing it in a cute way. He's probably trying to outsmart people in a cute way. Sure, that's my answer for that. I'm sure Will is in the same place with that.
That wasn't from yesterday?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I mean, somebody did say that yesterday, but it's a super chat from today. Appreciate y'all. Lou Reese dropped a 5 and says, your thoughts on Tyler Smith and edge rushers. The turf monster Robert Quinn is up next. Forgot about Robert Quinn.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Bears, starting tomorrow. And Robert Quinn's not having a great year, but that's one of the matchups if you go and watch the Bears, I wanted to ask you about, because I'm not trying to be that guy, but I talked about it last week. Tyler's growing pains, we're starting to see him. We're starting to see him, and he's young. It's going to happen. But Robert Quinn, boy, he gets some bend, and he sees some fresh meat out there in the rookie. And he's not a dude that just sacks your quarterback. He'll force a fumble.
Yeah. And it's not a secret, man. Voch still wants Tyler Smith at guard. Voch always wanted Tyler Smith at guard. So that's just me. Jason Peters got his legs up under him now, hopefully so. But we know better than that. Brandon Wiggins dropped a deuce and says Kellen ain't about that box life. Actually. There we go. Javante Deloach, he dropped a 5. Then he came back and dropped a deuce. Then he dropped another 5, so a total of 12. He says, would you guys rather pay CD 20 to 25 mil when he's eligible, or pick up his 5th-year option and potentially pay more? I think he's definitely a 5th-year.
I think he's saying sign him after this year because he's eligible to get signed after this year, or do the 5th round or fifth year option. I think you do 5th year so you can, you have 2 extra cheap years and maybe allocate that money elsewhere. Unless he just goes absolutely berserk, but I don't really see a reason to sign him to $25 million a year at this second.
Plus, if you hang around, you learn about CD, right? Like you learn that, okay, well, he is a number 1 guy. And if he's not a number 1 guy, at least he's good with another guy like close to him. So pay him less and go get another dude that he can be close to. Because CD can play. Whether he's a by himself number 1 guy is the question. Go ahead, Will.
And to be fair, I'm very interested to see not just CD, but a lot of these guys with potentially, because this is still potentially could happen, a different offensive coordinator type of situation. If Kellen gets hired, we've seen the magic that a different OC, a good one at least though, can do for certain players. So I'll be interested to see if that happens.
Yep. Fantastic point, Master William. That's all that is. All right, chat. We on to y'all. We ain't done this in a minute, Will.
Oh, there's one more super chat.
Did it come in late?
It just came in. Yeah, it just came in. We don't wipe these 304s.
These hoes. They love to do that. He dropped a deuce and says Roquan possibly. I don't think Roquan's a possibility, dog. I sincerely don't. I don't think Roquan's a possibility. I don't think Roquan is a possibility. I would love to have Roquan.
Let me tell you this.
Quentin than Roquan.
I hope Roquan has the worst game of his life on Sunday.
For sure. We got to go see him. Come on, man. Hear ye. Where my glasses at? Let me put my glasses on. I almost poked myself in the eye with my glasses. It's cool. Marcus Hardison says, At the volume, that's me and Will still. At the volume, first off, prayers up, gentlemen. I always, oh shit, it's been a while, my bad, Mark. I allow manipulation to find out where my enemy wants to go. Then I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. I ain't got Don DeMarco. Hold on. I allow manipulation to find out where my enemy wants me to go. You play possum, you know what I mean? You put on that wall. And then I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. Lions sleep outside. Marcus Harris, appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you, sir.
Deep.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
Good one, man. Damn. How many times you ever did that, Will, still? Play stupid and allow somebody to think that you ain't really know what was going on, but you knew what was going on.
I'm a Scorpio, bro. We are very sneakily in that way.
That's toxic, man. I ain't gonna say nothing to you. What we got, chat?
Wait,
what we got?
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Toxic King. Hey, man, we held 1,100 people up here, man. I'm proud of you. I appreciate y'all for coming through watching us, man. Y'all got any questions? What y'all got first, man? Got any questions? What y'all got?
Daquan wants AB to take over at nickel and Bland on the outside. I actually want Bland on the in nickel, bro, because he's so physical. You know what I mean?
If I'm keeping it a buck, yes, I want Bland this side, but I'm ready to go ahead and put Kelvin outside.
I'm about to say, if you want somebody outside, it's Kelvin Joseph.
Yep. I'm ready to just get these young guys going. What does the future DB core look like? You know what I mean? Or the future corners for the most, because we still got to draft free at some point. Malik ain't gonna be here forever. But what does your future corners look like? I'm ready to move forward with Diggs, Kelvin, and Duran. You know, it's crazy. Diggs compared to Duran and Kelvin. Diggs is such an old dude compared to them. Like he's the veteran, the OG compared to them. But Diggs only 3 years in the game.
Yeah, I'm about to say he got a year on KJ, clearly 2 on Duran. But here's the crazy thing: AB, he's 7 years, bro. Where did time go?
Hey man, don't make me feel like you, man. I mean, because you're a decade older than me, so don't make me feel. Time really flying for you. Kelvin Joseph tackles. I will say this: Deron Bland is a solid tackler. If we can get better tackling, outside anywhere, I'll take it.
That's what I meant by physical. Like Deron Bland, if you're going to play in the slot, sometimes you got to be able to be the first one on the run, right? And Jordan Lewis, you can get busy sometimes, but Deron Bland wants to smoke.
Yep. Chat, y'all got anything else before we go? We answered that yesterday. Will still not feeling Chase Claypool. To be fair, Voch really not needed. What about right? Nation can go. Honestly.
Yeah. Can't hit on all of them, Voch. Yeah, can't hit all of them.
Can't hit them all. Brandon Wiggins dropped the Deuce and Super Chat says, what's a Robert Quinn to a Billy D or a Micah?
Nothing this year.
Not a goddamn thing this year. Hell not. Last year, Robert Quinn had like 18 sacks though, something like that. Like
he was a beast on the sack department.
It was crazy last year, but it's still like his run game stuff to make him weird. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. Sky Centennial is tomorrow at the Volume. Happy 100th birthday, Sky.
Marcus said that earlier. I lost it.
Yo, Centennial is crazy.
It is wild. It's wild, bro. I can't wait because I'm really gonna be able to say
I'm a man. I'm 40
tomorrow. But I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be here, unfortunately, y'all.
Damn, I got to run the show by my. I forgot about that, Will. Still, I ain't know I had. Forgot I had to do that shit. All kind of bad shit happens when I got to run the show by myself. I was gonna ask what you thought about Kadarius Toney, but I don't even want to talk no more. I got to by myself. Listen, man. Like the video, I guess. Y'all can subscribe if y'all feel like it. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARD. Yeah, Patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Gotta do a show by myself tomorrow. I would tell you go follow Will, but I mean, he ain't gonna be looking no way because he's gonna be on birthday day off, so he ain't gonna be looking at Twitter. He ain't looking at A to Z.
Here's the worst part for you. I'm actually going to be on A to Z in the morning.
There's no way you're gonna be on A to Z. See, that's what I'm talking about, y'all fake ass people, dog. That's that fake ass shit y'all be talking about. That's that fake ass shit y'all be talking about, dog. Give me a new producer. I'm sick of this. They never here when you need them, but they want to do that. They want to go do their shit. They want to go do their shit, but they don't want to come do our shit. They want to do their own. They want to make their own money, but they don't want to make no money with me. See, that's what I'm talking about, dog. Get the E-Cast up out of here, dog. Phony.
What?
A to Z Dallas in the morning, though, 8:30 if y'all feel like it. It'll be me by myself tomorrow. Y'all be sure to tune in and we'll break down the Bears offense. Yes, Cowboys defense, Bears offense. Y'all hold down for the Doski, Woski, and Peasky Whiskey. I'll see y'all at 3, not at 8:30. Volume.
Beats Planet.